For this example, we're going to be adding 3.2 times 10 to the 4th plus 1.4 times 10 to the 5th. Now, in order to add these, the first thing we need to make sure is that they have the same exponent. Now, these two don't have the same exponent. So what that means is that we have to change them so that they are the same exponent. It's the same thing as combining like terms. You can't combine them if they don't have the same exponent. So we can either make this into a 5 or we can make this into a 4. I always like to make the smaller one into the bigger one because sometimes that just helps us out later in the problem. So if I change this 4 to a 5, I have to add 1. And now if you're going to make this number bigger, you have to make this number smaller to keep the balance. So to make it smaller, I'm just going to move it over one place to the left. So we have 0.32 times 10 to the 5th power plus 1.4 times 10 to the 5th power. Now that they are the same exponent, we can combine them. So all we have to do is add these two numbers. 1.4 times plus 0.32 makes 1.72, and then the exponents you keep the same. Now, if you had changed this 5 to a 4, and then this would have been 3.2 times 10 to the 4, plus, if you had changed this by subtracting 1, you would have had to make this bigger, because if you make this one smaller, you have to make this one bigger. So you would have had to move the decimal that way. So you would have had 14 times 10 to the 4. And now you can add them, and you would have had 17.2 times 10 to the 4. Now, that's why this helps us, because this one was already in standard form as soon as we added. But this one is not. Scientific notation. This one is not in scientific notation because this number is not between 1 and 10. So we have to move the decimal one more place over here so that this becomes 1.72. And by doing that, you're making this smaller, so you have to make this bigger and add 1. So 4 plus 1 is 5. So it's just a little more helpful to add 1 to the smaller one than to subtract 1 from the bigger one. It's just one less step. But either way, you can get to the right answer. And that's our final answer.